What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Stand Podcast, where we are doing our best to get in a draft daily, at least Monday through Friday, before the start of the NFL season. Yesterday, there were all out of the fast puppies, but woke up this morning, saw this corgi here on Underdog Fantasy. Quick little $5 draft, single entry, so we're only going to be able to get into one of these, but let's go ahead, hop in. So happy that there's at least an affordable draft left here, or at least available for today, so we can sneak in rather than be on a draft wizard, which we will more than likely be in a couple for next week. But we are 8 people away, looking to get this filled and looking forward to bringing you guys another draft. All right, guys, back here in the draft. Finally got it filled up. Here's the corgi. Same simple rules as every other draft. Only one quarterback here, 3 wide receivers, 2 running back, 40 seconds away from starting, and we have the 6th pick right in the middle. I love it. Each episode we've gotten a different draft slot, and it really does make me happy knowing how each draft has been going, how we can navigate, take some notes on how we should have pivoted. Obviously, I'm hoping Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be here. Last draft where we had the 3rd pick or the 4th pick. He ended up going the pick right before us in spot number 3. We ended up going Tyreek Hill. But we're hoping maybe this is just a different crop of guys where perhaps Amon-Ra can drop to us. That would be awesome. You know, another pivot, I haven't taken a lot of Bijan Robinson shares. There are a couple of drafts where I have decided to go running back first, where we have gotten Bijan. I am tempted and interested to do a build where having Bijan with our second wide receiver champion there, of maybe Devontae Adams or, Mike Evans if it does get kind of later on. I think we'll be able to get Devontae. But just pair him with a stout wide receiver there. With us starting 3 wide receivers, though, this is where I personally like to go wide receiver first here. And wow, this is actually a shot, guys. CeeDee Lamb falling down into the draft. Obviously, this is with him holding out from training camp before he gets a new contract. We will see how that plays out. I highly think CeeDee Lamb is the best wide receiver in this draft. I mean, guys, this would be ridiculous. The fact that CeeDee Lamb is still here, is still available. This is insane. What? Wow, CeeDee Lamb has fallen. We have Amon-Ra queued up here because I still believe he is the top wide receiver in this draft. The fact, though, that CeeDee Lamb on July 26th, with him not reporting to camp without that new contract, goes number 7. I'm interested to see who this guy is going to pair with CeeDee Lamb. But number 8, Breece Hall, A.J. Brown after that. Puka Nacua then goes. Number 11 pick about to come up. We are 8 picks away from ours. Garrett Wilson goes there at number 11. We have the back-to-back. We have Marvin Harrison. And who is he going to pick? My pick's going to say Jahmyr Gibbs. We'll see. And he goes Barkley. Ooh, even over Taylor. Interesting. Well, 5 picks away. Nico Collins. Jesus, DeMarter. CeeDee Lamb, 7th round pick. I honestly would have got CeeDee Lamb there, but honestly, I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. In most drafts, that's not going to be the case. So I wanted to just build this how we build this. I honestly probably should have just taken the value there in this best ball draft and just give it as a gift of like, hey, here's CeeDee Lamb. Oh, wow, there goes Devontae Adams before us. I personally like Mike Evans. A lot of people, Jonathan Taylor. We are going to go our wide receiver in Mike Evans. Jonathan Taylor was still there, but I think he's old and busted. There's just these running backs I really don't want to bet on. Even A-Chain, who I believe Raheem Mostert is of immense value, and that's who we're going to be targeting later on. But we're still building this with the players how we like. We are 8 picks away, hoping Kyron Williams actually falls to us. If not, I do like both Derrick Henry and Isaiah Pacheco. More Isaiah Pacheco, just him being the more younger back. Still the physical, dominant play style that you love and see from Derrick Henry. And Pacheco working on his pass catching skills. So we're 6 picks away. Last time we were in this spot of going 2 wide receivers, we ended up going, I believe, Travis Kelce in the 3rd, and then focused on a wide receiver coming back before targeting our running back position. We essentially punted it. If I was starting this draft, I would love to be able to start off with 2 wide receivers, and of course one of these top running backs. Kyron Williams has actually a good shot at falling to you in the 3rd. He of course went later there at the end of the 2nd. We are 3 picks away. Couple picks into the 3rd round. Jalen Waddle started off. DK Metcalf after that. 3 picks, and we are hoping. Well, there goes Derrick Henry. We are hoping Isaiah Pacheco is there to fall. Malik Neighbors there. God's Peasant before us. Could go Pacheco. He instead goes Cup. We're going to go Pacheco here to lock him in. I don't want to play the ADP game because we will miss out. So I feel confident starting 2 stout wide receivers, having Isaiah Pacheco there. If any of you guys have been following the strategy along, we're going to be targeting Clyde Edwards-Helaire as one of our backup running backs just to make sure we have that backfield in Kansas City locked up. So happy with this start. We're 10 picks away. We're, of course, going to go ahead and see who falls to us. I am not a Travis Etienne believer. Obviously, I know he had a good year last year, although health is just the main thing. It's just, will he be healthy? So he's someone, if he falls, I'll take a chance. Lock up 2 style wide receivers, possibly 2 running backs. We're still going to be targeting Zamir White in the 7th round, and the fact that we would be able to get him as a running back 3 possibly over just having him as our RB2. But knowing that, it's also knowing that we don't have to take a chance on ETN, and that we can instead take a chance more on one of these other guys in these onesie positions. So a great stack here, I believe, is Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews. This is the weekly winners. George Pickens is there. He would be a great alpha to add. Travis Etienne is there. I mean, 253. I'm going to take a shot. This would be my first drafting Travis Etienne. And here we just have a balanced roster right now. Guy after goes George Pickens, who of course was highly consideration there too. Which I should give that a shot because I do like the way that roster is built out. And true, had we Isaiah Pacheco, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, George Pickens, well, like I said, we are targeting Zamir White in the 7th round. So 2 more picks here to solidify our roster or to just strengthen our roster. 6 picks away. We do have a shot at either Mark Andrews, Trey McBride, or Dalton Kincaid, who could take that year 2 jump. Well, there we go. Before us, actually in the stack, that guy actually did take Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews. And I love it, guys. 2 wide receivers, get your running back champion, then get last year's MVP and his favorite target. And then from there, like I said, we're targeting Zamir White, and all these great cluster of running backs who are RB1s in their backfields. So we're taking notes here. Like I said, I could have gone George Pickens in that wide receiver 3 role. And then as I fill out these running backs, if I could possibly get Keon Coleman later, be able to get that. So this is actually very interesting, guys. I love this draft because I'm getting some guys that I have very little stock on, but still would maybe surprise. So Dalton Kincaid here, to me, he would be kind of that last tier of shot. So the fact that Kyle Pitts went before us for Dalton Kincaid, I'll go ahead and take. Balanced team still, I believe. We're 10 picks away. We'll see, of course, who will fall. Ooh, George Kittle there. Gonna take some notes. I'll take that. Rashad White to run it back is unquestioned RB1. That'd be a great RB3. It's the news on Ladd. Ladd McConkey projected to start. Brian Thomas seeks to make an impact. I mean, he was, first round rookie? Four picks away. I do have George Kittle queued up here, but more than likely not going to go George Kittle. Three picks away. There goes George Mixon. 2 picks. More than likely, my pick here, I feel like we have a much better shot of Keon Coleman possibly going over Zamir White. And guess what? If that does happen, then we'll go ahead and take Raheem Mostert as our RB3. But I need that wide receiver 3. I believe it's Keon Coleman. And we're going to go ahead and take Keon Coleman in the 6th. Because we're 10 picks away. And I have gotten sniped so much for him. Let me see God Peasant. Look at that. 3-1. Still got Anthony Richardson and George Kittle. I love these builds. I love going the heavy wide receiver with that one running back champion builds. It just looks so good. Everyone. That's how everyone is piecing it. This guy's leaning on Kyron. We are 6 picks away. Right now, I am essentially punting the quarterback position. My last somewhat hope is Dak Prescott and Jordan Love. A combination right there would be nice. Jaden Daniels is also someone I love and can be really good, possibly here for fantasy. We, of course, will see how that goes throughout the season, but I'm excited. to see how he'll look in that Cliff Kingsbury offense. 3 picks away, Deontay Johnson. There's still guys like David Montgomery, but he's the 1B to Jahmyr Gibbs 1A. He will get the touchdowns, though, I will say. Alvin Kamara, it's just, is he old? Aaron Jones has the question marks. Najee Harris, of course, is going to have Jalen Warren there. James Conner is old and busted. We're actually targeting Trey Benson there. Ladd McConkey is still there. The fact that I already got my wide receiver champion in Keon Coleman there, I am going to take Zamir White here. He is who I do not want to miss out on, and we already said in the 7th round we are targeting Zamir White. So with us being 12 picks away, Dak Prescott essentially is who we are hoping can fall to us. Just believe he's going to be pretty consistent during the season. And even then, if there's no one else who we like, well, I'll go ahead and say this. If Raheem Mostert is there, well, I'll take him over Dak Prescott and then attack Jordan Love, actually probably just more take on Jaden Daniels. But we'll definitely see who falls to us. I believe sitting pretty here, we have 3 great running backs for the season. The RB1 in Isaiah Pacheco, RB1 in Travis Etienne, RB1 in Zamir White. We, of course, later on, if we don't target any other good running backs, we'll go after Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Alexander Mattison to shore up that backfield. Heck, honestly, I could punt that position entirely with them all being different buys and get Tank Bigsby even and take a shot at him. However, I do want to take a shot at some of these other home run hitters, as Raheem Mostert definitely could put up some great numbers. So I'm looking here. Brian Robinson is also going to get it. There goes Dak Prescott before us. We were actually going to take a chance. I was going to still take Raheem Mostert. But you know what? There you go. When CeeDee Lamb, man, look at that. He just went heavy wide receiver. He's just going the straight Cowboy stack right there. But we'll go ahead and take Raheem Mostert here. Our 4th running back. I think we're pretty solid at this position. Wide receivers, 2 veterans, especially in the champion league winners, I believe, especially in Amon-Ra St. Brown. Keon Coleman, I believe he will have that role. Him and our wide receiver 3. Definitely, it's going to be a little bit shaky there, but we'll see who else we can kind of pair with him at this wide receiver spot. Could take a shot at Joshua Palmer if he is still there. Tyler Lockett, obviously, is still Tyler Lockett, just a veteran presence that we could definitely pair with our team too. Trey Benson is going to be one of our picks. I just think he's going to be a great addition to our roster, and we'll just break out later on in the year. Queuing up Jared Goff here, since we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, would love to have him in our stack, especially if we are, say, maybe only able to get Jaden Daniels here, that good playmaker. Having someone as consistent and solid as Jared Goff would just be awesome and would complement our roster. So right here, with us being 3 picks away, and even then, us getting those 2 good quarterbacks would be awesome. Hoping Jaden Daniels definitely still falls to us. We got one person. He's really balanced. Could have Anthony Richardson and Jaden Daniels. He missed out on him, which is good for us. We're going to miss out on guys like Brian Robinson, Tyler Lockett, Joshua Palmer, who would just be great bench and great depth pieces for our team. We definitely need a playmaker quarterback that could give us that rushing option. So Jaden Daniels is going to be our pick there. We now have pretty much a decently balanced team here. I believe with it being best ball, we're going to need to get some pieces to back up, obviously, our guys. So Jane Daniels, week 14 bye. Luckily, Jared Goff is week 5. So great pieces there. So 8 picks away. Trey Benson is actually going to be our number 1 pick here, followed by Jared Goff if it can fall our way. If not, queuing up some guys like Jerome Ford, Ezekiel Elliott to get us the touchdowns. Gus Edwards apparently is the running back 1, but hasn't practiced for recovering from an undisclosed surgery. Javonte Williams will still more than likely be the RB1 there. Cue up Jalen Polk, who is getting first team wide receiver reps. Since we have Jane Daniels, we'll queue up Jahan Dotson, possibly get that little stack there just to kind of help the points. Hoping Jahan Dotson can bounce back. He was supposed to take that jump last year. There goes Trey Benson before us. Dallas Goedert. Ezekiel Elliott. Just looking here, I mean, man, really bummed Trey Benson went. I would have loved Trey Benson. We're going to get Jared Goff here just to make sure we don't miss out. We already have great running backs, so we don't have to necessarily get Jerome Ford, or if we miss out on Jerome Ford or Gus Edwards, we'll be okay. We're 10 picks away. Honestly, right now, what I want to do is, even though there are some other, decent running backs we could still target, I want to go ahead and start shoring up my wide receiver position. So we have our 3 starters. Now it's time to take our chances on the 3 rookies or guys who could possibly just elevate this team. Scroll down and go ahead and get Rashad Bateman. There's a lot of people still sleeping. He's still later on in the drafts, but great value. But now's the time to take your shot on these rookies that you believe in, especially the ones getting those first team reps. Like I mentioned, Jalen Polk, I believe. See if I can cue it up. Where is he? Yeah, taking reps with first team offense. Good to know Jahan Dotson is optimistic about Kingsbury's offense. Oh, Jerry Jeudy is dealing with the leg issue. That's always disconcerting, but Rashad Bateman looks good. We're hoping. All right. Pat Fryermuth. Let's look at the tight ends just to see. 14. We're going to go ahead and get the young, exciting rookie in Jalen Polk. Another rookie to add to our team. Our running backs. Wow, goes Rico Dowdle? That dude just really went all Cowboys. If that dude's streaming, I wanna see his reactions in that build, because that D Martyr, Prescott, Zeke, Dowdle, CD, Ferguson. Whew. 7 picks away. Right now, pretty balanced offense still. We don't have a backup tight end. Could probably target him. If we do, more than likely we'll miss out on potentially Rashad Bateman, even though here, based on ADP, will still be down, but I'm sure someone's going to go ahead and take a chance on him, especially later on here in this draft. Jay Rich said, I hate quarterbacks. Still hates quarterbacks. Dalton Schultz. You know what? We'll play the ADP game. We'll just hope. We hope that the guys here will be sleeping. Zach Charbonnet, 3 picks away. 2 picks away. Well, this guy doesn't have a tight end. He should just go Schultz here. This Schultz is the last. There you go. Wow, that guy lucked out on having Schultz there. So we could go ahead. Mets week 7. With us needing that tight end, that backup one, I'm going to get Komet here. Take the chance. Right now, balanced. If I really want another tight end to just shore up targets and looks, right now Dawson Knox will more than likely be a target for that third position. That's how I like to play it in this ADP game, balancing out this 18-round roster of 3 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 6 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. Just helps you, especially targeting guys with different buys between those weeks. So another good draft. Taking some notes, obviously, of where we could have pivoted. With most of my drafts being that third wide receiver, honestly, I probably should have went Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, come back with Isaiah Pacheco, but then go someone like a George Pickens to get that wide receiver 3 instead of going someone of a Travis Etienne. Obviously, with Zamir White there, I would targeting in round 7. I would love for him to be an RB2. Would trust him to be my RB1, but having him as an RB2, I believe, would just give us would just kind of describe or kind of show the strength of our team. Gosh, I believe Isaiah Pacheco could take that jump. If he could just flash that Jamal Charles with him catching the ball there, there's some things that special that can happen. So 3 picks away. We try to play the ADP game. There goes Rashad Bateman. Bummer. 2 picks away. Honestly, you could target Kirk Cousins, who could have a massive game. I believe that's what I want to do right here. We have people who will bounce back. What's Kirk Cousins' bye? Kirk Cousins has a week 12 bye. Perfect. 3 strong veterans. 12 picks. Guess what? Darnell Mooney is not going to be there, but we'll still be able to balance out this team. Very interesting to see how certain people's rosters have turned out. Starting from the top, there's only one team that went running back at the 4 position. CeeDee Lamb falling to the 7th, guys. That is wild. And obviously regret not taking him there just because, 1, it's immense value. 2, it's just he's always been that first wide receiver pick that we've actually, lucky enough, been able to get those higher picks to be able to get him, which is the only reason why I decided to go Amon-Ra St. Brown, because he's actually one who I believe in the most but also have the least amount of stock in, only because other people believe him too. he's either not there when I'm drafting at the 6th spot or the 8th spot, or heck, even in the 4th spot where I thought it was going to be a surefire that we were going to get him, he ends up going pick number 3 before us. So just wanted to get Amon-Ra St. Brown. Obviously, in a real draft, you take the value that's there. Gladly would have taken him. But DeMarter will gladly take CeeDee Lamb and goes Devontae there. We're a couple picks away. We need some guys to queue up here. Troy Franklin, another young rookie that I believe in. He will more than likely be our pick if he is here. Just kind of looking who we need. Adam Thielen, the veteran. Now, which piece is he? Number 2, number 3. Roman Wilson, number 2, in an Arthur Smith offense. I just think Troy Franklin right now, he's got the one where just has that rookie splash, could definitely shine out. So round 14, we get our 5th wide receiver. We still have 2 running backs to tackle. Chuba Hubbard, of course, was in consideration. Just knowing that Jonathan Brooks is going to start the season off on the pup, Chuba Hubbard should put out those decent numbers. But, of course, now that makes Miles Sanders relevant again. Definitely would go Chuba had we had Jonathan Brooks. But liking our team so far, guys. Honestly, with the projections, though, I will say this may be one of our lowest total here. We could cheat and get like another quarterback if we really wanted to, and just be like, look, still average, but we'll see. We'll see if I go that 4th. But obviously, right now, still missing 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end, or we could go another position. Should we see just the value there? As of now, right here with the value, Adam Thielen is the only value, and that is so sad to say. Just going to queue him up. If not, looking at the tight ends, Tyler Conklin, Kate Otten, no one really you would pay for. Queue up Dawson Knox there. Running back, Antonio Gibson. We already said we were going to target some of our backups. So I have 0 stock intake Bigsby. Entering year 2. He had a lot of hype. So to anchor my backfield, I just believe Pacheco is more durable than ETN. Well, I mean, Adam Thielen's there. I just feel like you have to take that value. We're going to take that value. And he's also going to be our wide receiver 6. Our last pick, essentially, to where we don't have to go fishing for anyone there in that spot. All right. We have 1 tight end queued up, and that's Dawson Knox, who I believe we have a great shot at getting. I don't think anyone would want to take him. But when you get to this point in the draft, guys, when Tyler Conklin's left, Johnny Smith, Ben Sinnott, Chigakonkwo, it's like, would you take a shot at the veteran and just know that he'll probably get some or steal away some red zone looks? But as we're going down, Tank Bigsby is up there with Dawson Knox, Alexander Madison as well. Cue up Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Obviously, at this point, we are just targeting our backup. So we need 2 running backs. We only need 1 tight end left. With our 6th pick here, we will go ahead and get our 5th running back. More than likely, Tank Bigsby, just in case ETN breaks down. Well, now after thinking about that, it's like, should I rather just take the surefire and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who they re-signed, third through rotation? Ooh, Edwards-Helaire is not a lock. All right, generic Prince. That is great to know. Braylon Allen. So I will be looking here. We will go ahead. Lock up Tank Bigsby. Lock up Tank Bigsby. That sounds so sad. Look at that. Raises our projection. Barely any. Barely any. Going to read up a little bit on Alexander Madison, as he is one of our backups we are targeting. Think he's going to be in a committee, huh? Oh, look, Alexander Madison goes there again. I really believe it's purely name value. Because I don't think he has anything left. Except for being the backup for Zamir White. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Tony Pollard, Alexander Madison. That dude's got an old running back core. Well, I guess we do too. Last two picks. Targeting Dawson Knox here. Hoping he falls and just doesn't go based on name value alone. All right. 2 picks away. Russell Wilson. Wow. Really? Not even Derek Carr. Oh, it's 12 picks away. Get in the car. 28. You have to study these projected 3,000 ones. Obviously, wide receiver heavy. Yeah, this is the wide receiver heavy. Jonathan Taylor. 7 picks away. We are simply filling out our roster. So, one more running back. And that is it here in round 18. Who we will be targeting, obviously, we were only able to lock up. Well, that's my fault. I need to make sure that name value will always be taken over just regular ADP. Or heck, I should have even looked if Madison was still there. But still, we at least locked up one running back position, hoping everyone else stays healthy. The last running back we will be taking is actually the one in the write-up. Generic Prince. Undrafted. Rotates in ahead of Edwards-Helaire. This is going to be a fun rabbit hole to just dive into. He's got another shot to earn the backup role. All right, guys. Should Pacheco miss an injury, Deneric Prince could possibly have some value. So we will be taking Deneric Prince here. And as you can see, they don't think he's going to have any value because our projections did not move at all. Still, though, 2,800, a little bit up there towards the pack. Actually, no, we're not 26. I mean, we're not 27. Old Josh Allen owner. All right, a lot of teams are balanced. A lot of teams are balanced. There's that one 3K. Well, guys, I'm just excited about getting another draft in. It is Friday. I don't even know how many weeks essentially are left yet. I'll bring that stat on Monday. But we got in another draft, guys. Pretty much was able to get on the underdog fantasy platform all week, so that was exciting. But really appreciate you guys following along. I'll go ahead, just go through this team real quick for the Corgi, which I believe we only get one entry. So this is going to be our only team entry in there. With our quarterbacks, we decided to wait. Still got a playmaker in Jaden Daniels, who could be an exciting rookie. The consistency in Jared Goff, who's going to be playing mostly in a dome, and seeing if Kirk Cousins can bounce back and throw for over 4,000 yards in this brand new Atlanta offense. Running back, we actually waited into our round 3 position to get our champion in Isaiah Pacheco, which I believe is the formula to go. So Isaiah Pacheco, we decided this round to actually, this is our first and only share of Travis Etienne. Go and pay for that RB2 instead of getting our third wide receiver, just with him falling to us at that spot. So got Travis Etienne there. Ended up going Zamir White. He is our round 7 smash play. By the time draft season comes out, may have to pay up a little bit in round 6. But so excited to get him on the roster as our RB3. Would have loved him as our RB2. Heck, in some drafts, he's our RB1. But having him here as our RB3 and in that flex role is just going to be key and huge. It got Raheem Mostert as well, just that value that fell. Has that potential to lead that backfield and just get those touchdowns. Going Tank Bigsby just to lock in Jacksonville with Travis Etienne. Obviously, he was healthy last year, but the question mark is, can he be healthy again this year? And for our last pick, ended up going to Deneric Prince. For Isaiah Pacheco, right up that he has jumped Clyde Zeller in that for that RB2 role for right now. And heck, if anything, if by chance something happens to Isaiah Pacheco, we have Prince there to hopefully go getting and get some points for us. Wide receiver, we went Amon-Ra St. Brown. CeeDee Lamb ended up falling to the 7th pick, or actually falling to us. We ended up passing, going Amon-Ra St. Brown just because I have very little stock in him, but wanted to treat this as a normal draft. CeeDee Lamb normally wouldn't be there, but wanted to take Amon-Ra to have him on our team. He is my wide receiver champion, and happy we got to pair him with Jared Goff. Got Mike Evans in round 2. Ended up going Keon Coleman to get our wide receiver 3 role. Believe he's going to be Josh Allen's wide receiver 1. Jalen Polk, who is running with the first team. Troy Franklin, who has that Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow connection with Bo Nix there, and could possibly be special. We don't know anything really about that Denver offense, who could emerge, so he could be a delight. And then ended up getting Adam Thielen as he fell to us, and just a veteran wide receiver who, at least for 6 games last year, got you some decent value. At tight end, spending in that 5th round pick at Dalton Kincaid. Kind of that last tier of tight ends there. We kind of looking back, we could have waited, possibly get George Kittle later on, but wanted to go ahead and take a chance on that young sophomore, hoping to take that year 2 jump. From there, got Cole Kmet, different buy, just to be able to have someone to fill in there, that playmaker, possibly get us some good games. And, of course, filling out that tight end role or depth with Dawson Knox, just to make sure in case anything happens to our starter, he can go ahead and fill in quite nicely, knowing that he's already had that time with Josh Allen and could immediately jump in and provide value. So here's another team, guys, drafting from the 6th position. Like I said, we've went from the 1st to the 11th to the 4th to the 6th. So I love that we've been bouncing around here, and just so you can guys kind of see how things are moving, shaping around, and who's moving up the draft board. Obviously, Rashad Bateman's kind of the hot one, moving up a couple of spots. There's a few others we, of course, will analyze and point out, but I love it, guys. We're definitely getting closer to draft season. We're ending July here, which is crazy. We're already going to be in August. But another episode here from the Fantasy Stand. We will definitely bring you another draft on Monday, hoping here on the Underdog Fantasy platform. But until then, take care, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you again next time. Bye, guys.